There's a quiet thrill that comes with tucking a young sapling into the earth on a mild spring morning, knowing it might still be bearing fruit long after the hands that planted it have passed the trowel to grandchildren. In gardens from the misty hills of the Pacific Northwest to the sun-baked terraces of southern France, from backyard plots in Ohio to cottage borders in the English countryside, certain plants have a way of outlasting us. They root deep, shrug off neglect, and keep the harvest coming through heat waves, cold snaps, and everything in between. These aren't flashy annuals that demand constant fussing. They're the steady companions that turn a patch of soil into a living inheritance, feeding families season after season with almost no coaxing once they settle in. I've spent more mornings than I can count wandering my own small plot, basket in hand, marveling at how a single well-chosen tree or shrub can ease the worry of empty shelves when the garden beds go quiet for winter. What if you could plant once and gather for decades, sometimes centuries, without starting from seed every spring? That's the gentle promise of these 10 remarkable food producers. They thrive in the varied climates we gardeners know so well here in the States and across Europe. The short summers of Zone 5 in Maine or the Midlands, the Mediterranean warmth of Zone 9 in California or coastal Spain. They ask only for decent soil, a bit of mulch, and the patience to let their roots explore. In return, they offer bushels of fruit, nuts, and sustenance that store beautifully, support pollinators, and build resilience into your garden's very bones. Let's wander through them together, the way neighbors might over a fence on a crisp autumn afternoon, sharing what I've learned from watching these plants settle into the rhythm of the seasons. We'll talk soil, companions, simple care, and the small joys of turning their gifts into jams, flowers, and winter stores. Because the best part isn't just the food, it's the feeling of stepping outside and knowing the land is quietly working with you. The first to catch my eye every early summer is the mulberry, that generous rebel of the backyard orchard. Picture its branches heavy with clusters of deep purple or creamy white berries, so sweet they stain your fingers like summer ink. Unlike delicate supermarket fruit that bruises at a whisper, mulberries hang on until they're ready, dropping gently when perfectly ripe. A mature tree, often living 50 years or more, can yield 50 to 80 pounds in a good season, enough to fill pies, dry into chewy snacks, or ferment into a tangy wine that warms the coldest evenings. In my garden, I planted a black mulberry near the compost heap where the soil stays rich and a little damp. It didn't mind the clay I started with. A generous layer of leaf mold and a yearly top dressing of homemade compost was all it needed. Mulberries laugh at drought once established, sending roots deep in search of moisture. For those of us in cooler European zones or the northern United States, choose a variety like Illinois Everbearing that ripens over weeks instead of all at once, giving you time to keep up with the harvest. In warmer Mediterranean pockets, the white mulberry offers a lighter, honeyed flavor that pairs beautifully with morning yogurt. Companion planting turns this tree into a hub of garden life. Underplant with comfrey for a living mulch that feeds the soil, or let barrage tumble nearby to draw bees that will later visit your tomatoes and beans. Birds love the berries too, so I net only the lower branches if I want to share. The upper ones feed the flock and keep the ecosystem humming. Pruning? Almost never. Just remove dead wood in late winter and let the trees sprawl. The real gift is how little it asks. Poor soil, neglect, even city pollution barely slow it. Come July, I'm out at dawn with my basket, the air sweet with that faint mulberry perfume, and I think of the generations who will one day do the same under these same branches. Next comes the hazelnut, a quiet powerhouse that stores like a treasure chest through the darkest months. These graceful shrubs, more like small trees in time, thrive in the temperate damp of the Pacific Northwest or the hedgerows of Britain and Germany. A mature planting of just a few bushes, cross-pollinated with 2 different varieties, can deliver 30 pounds of nuts each autumn. Crack one open and you'll taste why they matter. Rich, buttery kernels packed with nearly 3,000 calories per pound, full of healthy fats and protein that keep energy steady when the garden sleeps. I remember the first autumn my hazelnuts dropped. The ground under the bushes looked like someone had scattered gold coins. I gathered them in a wheelbarrow, let them air dry in the shed for a couple of weeks, and stored them in their shells in old wooden crates. They stayed fresh well into the following summer. No fridge, no fuss. For gardeners in cooler zones, plant in well-drained soil enriched with aged manure and a handful of rock phosphate to encourage strong roots. In hotter, drier parts of southern Europe or the American Southwest, choose drought-tolerant selections and mulch thickly with wood chips to hold moisture. Hazelnuts play nicely with others. I tuck them along the north side of my vegetable beds where they cast light afternoon shade, and beneath them grow daffodils and garlic that rise early and keep the soil covered. The catkins in late winter feed early bees, and the fallen leaves break down into wonderful humus. Harvest when the husks start to brown and the nuts rattle inside. Roast a few for immediate eating, but leave most in their shells. They'll keep a year or longer. In lean winters, a handful stirred into porridge or ground into a spread feels like pure abundance. These shrubs reach full stride in 3 or 4 years, a timeline that feels almost kind compared to slower orchard trees. Figs bring an ancient sense of plenty that feels almost mythical until you taste one whole warm from the tree. Their gnarled trunks and broad hand-shaped leaves have shaded Mediterranean courtyards for thousands of years, and they adapt beautifully to home gardens from Zone 7 upward. A single mature fig can produce 100 pounds or more of fruit in 2 flushes, early summer and again in late summer if the season is long. The fruit dries into nature's own energy bar, dense with minerals and over 1,000 calories per dry pound. In cooler climates like the British Isles or the northern states, I grow figs in large pots or against a sunny south-facing wall, wrapping the branches in fleece for the worst frosts. The soil stays on the lean side. Figs actually fruit better when not overfed, and a thick mulch of straw keeps roots cool and moist. In warmer zones, plant directly in the ground and watch them sprawl. One neighbor in Provence showed me how a single cutting, pushed into ordinary garden soil and kept watered the first summer, rooted and bore fruit by its 3rd year. That simplicity stays with me. Drying figs is a ritual I look forward to. Split them open, lay them on screens in a sunny window or low oven, and in a day or 2 you have chewy, sweet morsels that store in jars for months. Pair them with walnuts from the same garden for a trail mix that travels well. Under the fig's wide canopy, I grow strawberries and thyme. The dappled shade keeps the berries from scorching, and the herbs scent the air. Pests rarely bother a healthy fig, but if scale appears, a spray of neem mixed with a dash of dish soap usually sorts it. The tree itself becomes a living sculpture, its bark twisting like an old friend's hands. Apples, those steadfast northern companions, have carried families through countless winters. In the chillier corners of Europe and the American Midwest, a well-chosen apple tree stands as a quiet guardian of vitamin C and crisp sweetness. Once mature, after 6 to 10 patient years, a single tree can yield 200 pounds or more. The real magic lies in storage. Certain heirloom varieties like Cox's Orange Pippin or Braeburn keep in a cool cellar or root cellar for months. Their skins wrinkling only slightly while the flesh stays firm and fragrant. I plant apples in groups of 2 or 3 different varieties for good pollination, spacing them 20 feet apart in soil that's been loosened and enriched with compost and a sprinkle of lime if it's acidic. In the Pacific Northwest's wet winters, I choose disease-resistant types to sidestep scab. Across the drier plains of Central Europe or the American South, rootstocks that tolerate drought make all the difference. A yearly mulch of wood chips and a light pruning in late winter keep the tree open to air and light. Underplant with chives and nasturtiums. The flowers draw beneficial insects that patrol for aphids, and the chives discourage deer. Come harvest, I fill crates and sort carefully. Blemished fruit becomes sauce, or cider, that ferments into a sparkling drink to toast the new year. Dried slices travel in lunchboxes or rehydrate into winter pies. The tree itself lives 50 to 80 years, its blossoms feeding bees each spring and its fallen leaves feeding the soil. There's a deep comfort in pressing last year's cider while this year's apples hang heavy overhead. Persimmons arrive like a burst of sunset in late autumn when most of the garden has gone to seed. Their bright orange fruits cling to bare branches even after the first frost, a sight that lifts the heart on gray mornings. A mature tree yields 150 pounds or more, rich in vitamins A and C at a time when fresh produce feels scarce. In the American South or warmer parts of Spain and Italy, the native or Asian varieties thrive with almost no care. Further north, choose hardier American persimmons that stand up to Zone 5 cold snaps. I learned the easy way to dry them. Slice the fully ripe fruit, lay the pieces on racks, and let the sun or a low dehydrator do the work. They develop a sugary bloom and keep for over a year in airtight jars, tasting like chewy dates. Plant in full sun with good drainage. A yearly top dressing of compost is plenty. Under the spreading branches, I grow kale and leeks that appreciate the winter protection. Birds may nibble, so I harvest just before full softness and let them ripen indoors if needed. The tree's pest resistance and set and forget nature make it a favorite for busy gardeners. Chestnuts have fed mountain villages across Europe for centuries, their starchy nuts ground into flour or roasted over open fires. Modern blight-resistant varieties bring that same reliability to home gardens in zones 5 through 9. A mature tree drops 200 pounds of nuts that taste like sweet potatoes wrapped in a glossy shell. Roast them until the skins split, or grind the dried kernels into a gluten-free flour that stores for months and makes hearty breads and porridges. I space chestnuts 30 feet apart in deep, well-drained soil enriched with leaf mold. In wetter, European climates, they love the moisture. In drier American West, they appreciate occasional deep watering. Pollinate with 2 different trees for best crops. Beneath them, I grow shade-tolerant herbs like mint and lemon balm that keep the ground covered and discourage weeds. The nuts fall in early autumn, collect daily to beat the squirrels, and cure in a single layer for a few weeks. Their high carbohydrate content makes them a true staple, turning a simple soup into a filling meal when other crops are resting. Carob trees bring a gentle sweetness that feels almost magical in dry summers. Their long chocolate-brown pods ripen in late summer, 50% natural sugar and perfect for grinding into a caffeine-free cocoa substitute. In Mediterranean climates across southern Europe or California, carobs shrug off drought and poor soil, producing 200 pounds of pods that store for years in a cool pantry. Even in cooler zones, container-grown carobs can thrive on a sheltered patio. Plant in full sun with minimal fuss. Just good drainage and a yearly mulch. The pods dry naturally on the tree. Harvest when they turn deep brown and rattle. Grind them for carob brownies or steep in hot milk for a soothing drink. Underplant with lavender and rosemary. The aromatic companions deter pests and perfume the air. The tree's deep roots stabilize soil and support biodiversity, and its long life, well over a century, makes it a true legacy. Walnuts stand like quiet sentinels, their broad canopies shading the garden while dropping 50 to 80 pounds of nutrient-dense nuts each year. Rich in omega-3s and protein, they fill the gap when animal products run short. The hard shells protect the kernels for over a year in storage. In the fertile valleys of the American Midwest or the gentle hills of Central Europe, black walnuts or English walnuts thrive once established. I plant them in deep, loamy soil amended with compost and keep the area around the trunk mulched to retain moisture. They take 6 to 10 years to bear, but patience pays dividends. Under the canopy, I grow shade-loving currants and gooseberries that fruit happily. Harvest when the hulls split, dry the nuts, and crack them as needed. The wood itself becomes a valuable inheritance, but the annual crop of nutrition is the real gift. Oaks have nourished entire communities for millennia with their acorns. A mature oak can drop hundreds of pounds of nuts that, once leached of tannins in a simple water bath, become mild flour for breads and porridges. In zones 4 through 9 across both continents, oaks ask almost nothing once settled. Deep roots find water, tough leaves resist pests. I start with a small whip in a sunny spot, enrich the planting hole with compost, and mulch heavily. Underplant with native wildflowers that feed pollinators. Harvest acorns in autumn, shell them, and leach in changes of cold water until the bitterness fades. The resulting flower stores well and adds earthy depth to baking. An oak planted today may feed your great-grandchildren, its massive form a living landmark in the landscape. Finally, pecans crown the list as true calorie kings. A single mature tree in the American South or warmer European pockets yields 200 pounds of sweet, buttery nuts that store for up to 2 years in their shells. High in healthy fats and protein, they sustain through shortages with almost no effort once established. Plant in deep, fertile soil with full sun, spacing widely. Mulch and water deeply the first few years, then let the tree settle into its own rhythm. Harvest when the husks open, dry thoroughly, and store in mesh bags. Under the canopy, garlic and onions grow well, their scents helping deter pests. The long life, 2 centuries or more, turns one tree into a family heirloom. As the light fades on these late spring evenings, I walk among the young trees I've tucked into the soil over the years and feel the quiet promise they carry. Each one is a small act of faith that the seasons will turn, that the soil will stay alive, and that abundance can be passed along like a well-worn recipe. You don't need acres or perfect conditions. Start with 1 or 2 that suit your climate. Enrich the ground with compost and care, and watch them grow into the backbone of your garden. The harvest will come, sweet berries in summer, crisp apples in autumn, stored nuts through winter, and with it, a deep sense of connection to the earth and to those who will garden after us. There's room in every backyard for a little legacy. Plant one this season, tend it gently, and let the soil do the rest. Your future self and everyone who follows will thank you with every basket brimming.